Hello, my fellow nerds, and Happy New Year, he says in April. It has been a long time since I've last made a video for this channel. My laptop has been very uncooperative lately, and I am really in need of a lot of new equipment if I'm going to be continuing to produce videos on a regular basis. But that's not been very high up on my priority list. I've been preparing to move to another country. I've been trying to work on a lot of different music projects that I've got on at the moment, and of course this whole corona mess that the world's got itself into. Goodness knows what's going on with that, and it's thankfully not impacted me to a great deal, but it certainly has put a lot of things up in the air for me. Anyway, I really wanted to make another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. There's been a lot of things going on in the game for me recently. I just unlocked Jedi Knight Anakin's relic, which has been fantastic. Also, my guild has been suffering from an inactive leader. I think the last time he logged on was something like 80 days ago, last time I checked. Anyway, thankfully I can no longer check that because I'm not part of that guild anymore. We all decided collectively, those of us who were still active, to quit the guild and start a new one. And I've been chosen as the leader of that, so all of a sudden there's a lot more responsibility in the game for me, which is a little bit scary, to be honest, but also I can't deny that I'm a bit excited to see what I can do to make it an enjoyable experience for everyone. So since my last video, I've unlocked quite a few new characters. Resistance Hero Poe is one of them, and I must say I'm really not a fan of that modifier that both he and Resistance Hero Finn use in their titles. It kind of reminds me of like Tour Guide Barbie. I think they could have gone with General Poe and General Finn. I think they were both generals at the time of The Rise of Skywalker. And there was no like big promotion ceremony in the movie. It obviously happened somewhere in between episode 8 and 9. And so it's not like calling them General Poe and General Finn would have really spoilt the movie all that much. Anyway, I've also unlocked Echo, Chief Nebbit, the Fulcrum version of Ahsoka Tano, Luminara Unduli. She was part of the login rewards for last month. Ugnaught, Savage Opress, First Order Officer. A lot of characters for which I've just gathered shards during Galactic War, obviously. Poe and Ahsoka are the only one of these that I've been farming deliberately. Also, since my last video, as I already mentioned, I've unlocked Anakin's relic. I've upgraded Night Sister Spirit and Darth Nihilus to gear level 12. I've promoted Padme to 6 stars, and I'm currently working on promoting B1 Battle Droid to 7 stars, so I can use him in my Separatist team to gather the last lot of Padme shards that I need to promote her to 7 stars. That's currently my #1 priority in this game. So let's assign some bonus points. You may remember in the last video, the Night Sisters scored highest, so they will get 3 points each. The Jedi scored the next highest, so they will get 2 points, as will the Galactic Republic characters. And so those characters who fall in both factions, Anakin, Grandmaster Yoda, and Qui-Gon Jinn, will all score 4 points total. Ventress also scores 4 points because she's also a Separatist. They were the 4th place faction, and they scored 1 point each, as do the Sith. And of course, not all the characters in my roster that fall into these 5 factions receive bonus points, but only the ones that were in the top 30 in my last video. This time around, I've combined 2 stat top 10s onto one screen, and I've also overlaid the number of points that each character gets for their positions in those top 10s. You may also notice that I've color-coded these numbers. So a green number means they scored a higher position in that stat than in the last video. A red number means they scored a lower position in that stat. A purple number means they were not in that stat in the previous video. And a blue number means that they were in the same position as they were last time. So that is the case for most of the characters that make up the Tenacity stat top 10. The only exception being Hermit Yoda, who's up 1 position from the last time, and Talia, who was not previously receiving any points from Tenacity. Also not receiving any points in a particular stat in the last video is Jedi Knight Anakin in potency, and I'm really pleased that he's scoring in 3rd place in this stat top 10 because I've been incorporating him into my Night Sister team for Squad Arena. And when we're going up against bugs, which we very often do, his ability to inflict buff immunity on his basic is very, very useful in preventing Geonosian Brute from taunting, which means that we can take down Brute Alpha and get rid of the Hive Mind buff. Once that happens, it's very, very easy to take down the rest of the bugs. So Anakin receiving 8 points for potency, love what that represents. This is also Darth Sion's lowest ever potency score. There was a time where he had the #1 place and was receiving 10 points for this stat. And just one by one, there's been more and more characters who have overtaken him. And it looks like B1, Old Darker, Droidicar, and Darth Nihilus are those characters this time. So Anakin's also in 3rd place for special damage, which is another stat that he previously wasn't placing in, so that's really cool to see. Admiral Akbar is scoring 3 points for this one. This is his first time back on the leaderboards since the first Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video I posted last year. The reason that he is here is because I've been upgrading his gear level a lot to try and make Home 1 more powerful, considering I have to farm B1 shards from a ship battles node. Also, Hermit Yoda is back in the special damage stat again, and I really don't know why, considering he's a passive character and doesn't do any damage at all. Very, very confusing. But anyway, there he is, 1 point to him. So in physical damage, Anakin has overtaken Talzin to claim the top spot. So 9 points to her, 10 points to him. There is B1 in 5th place, so 6 points to him. He wasn't scoring anything for this stat in the last video, and neither was General Kenobi, who I'd only just unlocked. He's in 7th place, so 4 points to him to kick off his first ever score in my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes ranking series. So those 4 points put him in 20th position at our half-time leaderboard. He's sitting there right between Asajj Ventress and Qui-Gon Jinn, who both, by the way, have their 4 points entirely because of the bonuses that they received. And also Newt Gunray has the same score, so he picked up 3 points in the physical damage stat top 10. So all the upgrading that I've done on B1 has put him up to 5th position so far. Equal score with Darth Nihilus, both of them on 16 points, followed by the Night Sister Spirit on 21 points, and then Anakin and Mother Talzin on 30 points each in the top 2 positions, as they always are. The Night Sisters are currently totaling 84 points between the 6 of them, and at this halftime leaderboard check, we've got a little bit of a Clone Wars vibe going on, with the Galactic Republic and the Separatists both on 64 points each. The Jedi are not far behind on 63, and I believe this is the first time we've seen the droids on a leaderboard screen. They've so far totaled 40 points. Again, obviously due to all the upgrading work that I've been doing on B1. At some point earlier this year, I don't know why this is, because he's only at gear level 5, but Resistance hero Finn made it to the top of the speed stats, knocking Darth Sidious out of that place. This is the first time Darth Sidious has not been my fastest character since I started doing these rankings videos. I was really surprised about this because I didn't even put speed mods on Resistance hero Finn, so he must have a very high base speed. He's now been knocked off that top spot by Jedi Knight Anakin, who has claimed that spot because of his relic upgrade, obviously, but I'm counting this as Finn's first appearance in this stat top 10 due to the fact that he was nowhere to be seen in the rankings in my last video. Every other character in the speed top 10 is pretty much in the same position as they were last time. They've all been knocked down a spot, including Mother Talzin, who is now in 11th place, knocked out of this top 10 for the first time since I unlocked her relic. Visas Ma is another character who held a top spot in a particular stat for a long time, but like Sion in potency and Darth Sidious in speed, she's been gradually knocked down over the last few months and is now in 6th place. This is albeit a much more predictable situation due to Talzin, Nihilus and Anakin all reaching such high gear levels. Ewok Elder retains his position in 7th place from December, and Night Sister Spirit appears in this stat for the first time due to her gear upgrade. So in the health stat top 10, we have another first appearance from General Kenobi, also in 7th place, so another 4 points to him. Also a first appearance for Droidicar, who was gear 10 in the previous video. Now he's at gear 11, so that's increased his survivability quite a lot. And finally, in the power top 10, despite Anakin's relic now being unlocked, he still hasn't regained his second place position from Revan, and has even been pushed into fourth place by Darth Nihilus, who's only on gear 12. Droidekar's gear level upgrade and the fact that I put a Zeta on Daka has put them both in the top 10 for the first time since at least my previous video. Now, like my previous video, I'm going to be revealing the final top 30 in sections. Starting right at the bottom, we have the Night Sister Initiate on 4 points. She's down 8 positions from last time. Ewok Elder is up 1 position though, also on 4 points. Darth Scion on 5 points, down 7 positions from last time, no doubt due to him being knocked so far down in the potency rankings. Qui-Gon Jinn is down 2 positions. He only scored 5 points this time, 4 points from his bonuses at the beginning of the video, and 1 point for speed. Perhaps we won't be seeing him next time. And then Visas Ma down 9 positions, and Asajj Ventress up 4 positions, also on 5 points each. Sith Marauder on 6 points retains 24th position from last time. Magma Troopers up 3 positions, also on 6 points. And our final 6-point character for this video, Jolee Bindo, is down 14 places, and that is the biggest drop in the history of these ranking videos so far. Then we have Geonosian Soldier on 7 points, Zalbar on 8 points. General Kenobi and Resistance Hero Finn are the 2 new characters who have not been seen in the leaderboards previously. Kenobi on 8 points and Finn on 9. And then IG-100, Sidious and Newt Gunray are all also on 9 points. We've then got a block of 3 characters on 10 points, Poe, Grandmaster Yoda and Geonosian Brood Alpha, who's taken a little bit of a jump since last time. Sun Fac and Talia both on 11 points. B1 on 16 points is up 19 positions from the last video. That is the biggest increase in rank since my early November video when Padme jumped 22 places. And then Jedi Revan has been knocked out of the top 7, and Daka only just holding on to 7th place. They've both been pushed down by Droidekar, and also by the Night Sister Spirit, who's the first character in our top 5. For the rest of the top 5, Padme and Nihilus both hold 4th and 5th place, exactly the same as the last video. And for the top 2, Mother Talzin has been dethroned by Jedi Knight Anakin, who is in first place on 64 points. Now, if it wasn't for the bonus points, Anakin would have a score of 60 like Talzin does at the moment. But then again, if it wasn't for the bonus points, Talzin would only have 57 points, so she'd still have fewer of them than he did in the end. Nevertheless, the Night Sisters remain in the top rank of the faction totals on 138 points, followed by the Galactic Republic on 122, overtaking the Jedi, who are now in 3rd spot. This time they scored 118 points, while the Separatists and the Sith retain their 4th and 5th places on 95 and 61 points respectively. B1's increase in points has led to the droids being up in 5th place on 55 points, overtaking the Old Republic, who are now on 36. Then we've got the Geonosians in 8th place on the faction total ranks with 28 points. Resistance in 9th place on 21 points, a much bigger score than they had last time due to Resistance Hero Finn, and so on. Remember, as well as the top 30, the other characters who still scored anything at all contribute their points to their faction totals, including both R2-D2 and Admiral Akbar, who together have ensured that the rebels actually have a score on the faction leaderboards this time. Remember, to score any points, a faction has to have at least 2 characters featured in the rankings for any particular round. Basilishan Fallen was at rank 23 at the end of last year, but this time she's fallen out of the top 30. So while she contributes points to one of the top 5 factions, she will not receive any bonus points at the start of my next rankings video. But as both a Galactic Republic and a Jedi character, General Kenobi will be receiving bonus points in the next video. He'll actually begin in 4th place just behind Grandmaster Yoda, which is a very good starting position for such a new character. Speaking of bonus points, for the next rankings video, I have some ideas on how I'm going to start implementing a new system in which there will be even more bonus points available for the whole top 30, no matter what faction the characters belong to, and also a way in which bonus points may be penalized. I'm still sorting out the details, but I will let you know in my next Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. But that is all from me for now. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to share it with all of your friends. Thank you very, very much for watching. May the Force be with you, and I look forward to nerding out with you in my next video.